Hello, folks, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. To be honest, I didn't check that of the data today because of work and so on and so forth. I was very busy. Um, so let us check together what's happening to the market. Well, first of all, waste ratio as usual. That's the first step. We can see the trend line and what the price did at the moment. But however, we have seen that dump in waste ratio 1 hour, and we received actually an impact to that as usual. And we can see here the waste ratio 30 hours moving average. It was declining. It seems lifting up again, indicating more or whales are sending more coins to the exchanges. But, and that's interesting, since April 28th, the reserves, the stablecoin reserves on exchanges is rising, and that's usually indicating more stablecoins coming into the exchanges could be a preparation of a pump, for example, something we need to check even more. To be honest, I received from George from a tweet from Paulo. I don't know what's the surname of this guy, um, the CTO of iPhoenix, and he was tweeting a green telephone. Uh, I don't know. I mean, they did it in the past. They tweeted red pictures and green pictures, and I mean, just afterwards, in the weekends mainly, then something happened. So, if the picture was green before, we received a scam pump. If the picture was red before, we had some dumps afterwards. So, yeah, that's such kind of market. So we need to see what's going on. So if they are preparing such kind of pump, I can imagine that. But however, the stablecoin supply is still declining, and that's not bullish at all. As mentioned so many times, that's indicating that more and more whales and traders are exiting. So they can scam pump so many times if they want, but they can't prevent what's going to happen anyway. That's just, yeah, to shift a little bit what's going to happen. So let us take a look next to the net flow and indicates we are receiving big inflows more than outflows. Right now we are seeing more outflows than inflows, but we need to check if that's related to spot or derivative exchanges. Well, let us check what's happening here. Um, we can see some spot inflows related to Bitcoin. Wow. Okay, 2,500 Bitcoin here, another 1,600 here, another 700 here, another 1,500 here, another 2,500 here. Wow. Okay. That's big. I mean, that didn't happen since a while. We are talking here about, I don't know, let me see, 7,000 Bitcoin. If I check the volume, I would say we didn't see all this 7,000 Bitcoin yet, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But as you can see here as well, mm, here we have the waste ratio. It was high, indicating, for example, here 100% of those Bitcoins were from whales. Stable coins, as you can see, we have more outflows at the moment than inflows, and that's what the net flow here is indicating. So it's declining, indicating that people are taking profit and living with stable coins. Well, I mean, doesn't look good. So let us see what's happening to the future market. Well, first of all, we see April 29th today. The funding rate was rising and it seems it's declining right now, while the open interest is declining. Well, I guess they wrecked a lot of contracts, but also many are just taking profit, uh, taking into or just checking the funding rate. And I have mentioned today, that was my first tweet, that the funding rate was rising and we had a lot more of longs on Binance and FTX than shorts. I think they liquidated a lot and many just use stop loss to prevent, yeah, to get liquidated. Leverage ratio is actually at the moment lifting up again, but yeah, it's still too high in my opinion, but well. So, we can see here the net flow of stablecoins related to derivative exchanges, and actually here the net flow for Bitcoin related to derivative exchanges. We can see it looks more inflows than outflows today. Mm, I would say almost neutral related to Bitcoin. But if we go more there, we can check what's happening here. We have, yeah, so just 5 hours ago, we had 2000 Bitcoin inflows, but 885 Bitcoin outflows. Then an hour later, we had 2,400 Bitcoin outflows, but 1,100 Bitcoin inflows. And 1 hour later, 3,200 Bitcoin inflows and 2,800 Bitcoin outflow. Okay, it's big, but almost neutral. So if I check the balance and the net flow, I would say it's almost neutral. And here we can see we received almost 100 million stable coins. So it looks, stable coins, for example, looks much more than inflows than outflows, indicating they would use them for futures. The difference of both is stablecoins. You can use stablecoins, of course, to long and short any kind of yeah coin on Binance, for example, while Bitcoin related inflows are just related to Bitcoin futures. So you can long or short only Bitcoin, as I know. I don't think you can use any other coin and Bitcoin as collateral. And at least I don't know that. So let us, Jesus, let us take a look here to the blockchain whispers, and the blockchain whispers once again. It's indicating, I mean, even the shorts here on Bitfinex is rising, but forget that, and that's the only one that is in my scope. And the shorts declined, and yeah, the longs are lifting up again. Um, well, we need to see. I mean, even Inspo is longing at the moment because yeah, our retest at 38.5 wasn't looking very. It failed once again, and we have now 2 or 3 hours before Wall Street will close, and I can imagine afterwards this weekend we could see such kind of pump just to have a little bit more space in case that we will dump hard next week. But it's just a theory. We need to check more. Let me see here to check the last refresh liquidation map. And interesting. Um, I mean, I don't know what happened. We had a lot, really a lot of of longs. I have tweeted about that today. And yeah, as you can see, we still have more longs than shorts, but they reduce the volume of longs, it seems. We had almost the highest bar was indicating 280 million. Now it's indicating 150 million. So yeah, that matches very well to the blockchain whisperers indicating we still have more longs than shorts. So we will see if we really are going to pump to lift up this weekend or not. We need to be very careful. Well, who or what is driving the market? By the way, if you are missing a chapter, I'm just trying to highlighting data that is useful at the moment. Option trading always, I would say, is useful, even if that's not useful short term, but just to have a feeling or a sentiment of the market. But for example, I'm not going to talk today about the different entities. I'm not going to make any entity analysis because, yeah, these guys are selling, really selling big. I mean, you can see that here. Um, that matches very well to the price action, almost 5,000 Bitcoin, even a little bit more. And yeah, it seems big whales are pushing the price down, and someone else, and now we come back to our topic, it's holding the price with bitcoins. We can see that here. You remember yesterday Famex did this purchase, and since then you can see they were distributing. That was a very quick thing. FTX was distributing all the time, was selling, 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 selling. So the market still looks weak. So the only thing I could expect this weekend, if they really want just to push the price up, is a scam pump, like we know from Bitfinex and FTX, but I would say mainly Bitfinex. Let us check. Well, but to clear the question, what or who is yeah, driving the market? Um, Coin margin contracts just declined by 1.3 billion US dollars. And since here it's lifting up and now really, I mean, they did something like, let me check how much. While SPY was nuking, and they used again the coins to maintain the price. So yeah, we are talking about 560 million US dollars. So we are still missing almost 700, 800 million. Now imagine what they could do with 800 million US dollars just in Bitcoin related to coin margin contracts. And they used futures, of course, to drive the price action, and now it's declining. The same looking here. But it will decline even more because at the same time they are selling spot, and that's the reason why they are using coin margin contracts just to hold the price, to don't let the price just dump hard. Now imagine what will happen if they would stop with that and the coin margin contracts, if they would start to sell. Okay, that would be a huge dump. You couldn't imagine how big. Let us take a look here. Bitfinex. Bitfinex was distributing, was selling, but maintains still. Yeah, we are not talking about something big. We are talking about a CBD of 200 Bitcoin. That's really nothing. Just Coinbase is buying big. And as you know, I would be very careful with that. We are talking about 1,700 Bitcoin, and that's the volume delta, so they are buying even more. But however, be very careful with that because institutionals like to make such kind of accumulations. We need to see if they keep accumulating. If not, if they start, for example, to distribute and to hold again with futures, then we need to be very careful because that could be a dump preparation. So FTX, as mentioned, they are selling, and Femex. You remember Femex? What did Femex? Was that actually bullish? Yeah, short term. So Femex did actually a very good job. Oh, they bought 4,370 Bitcoin. No, they didn't bought. They bought even more, but that's the volume delta. I need to be very careful how I say, yeah, some informations. So, and since then, um, I mean, that's really, let me use here again. So just imagine they declined. That's also big. They declined already by 2,500. The volume delta. That's big. That's really big. So, and something like could happen to Coinbase as well, but we need to be. That's why I say we need to be very careful. Look what Binance did. I mean, that matches very well to the price action, right? So down, up. That's also very interesting. Yeah, and that's it. So we need to see what's going to happen next, but it looks like, in my opinion, that's my theory. When they start to use Bitcoins as collateral for their futures, usually that means they are preparing a pump because they go long. They are buying longs. At the moment, they are selling shorts here and spot at the same time. So in my opinion, at the moment they flipped, and even if we retest again the 38,500, as you can see, we are maintaining that level here, and that's a crucial level. If we lose that 38,500 and we make a retest, how I yeah mentioned several times, then we would dump really hard, but it doesn't look like they are holding and holding and holding and using, as you can see here, and using again Bitcoin margin contracts to prevent that. So I don't think that's going to happen. So what's happening here? Well, first of all, that's Coinbase, and we see actually this kind of, I would say, low volume walls. I'm not sure if that's walls or more spoofing, actually. I think that's more, yeah, that's more spoofing. That's a wall at 37.5, for example. And even here, a little one, 132 Bitcoin at 37.9, so almost 38. So we could even go a little bit more down, hitting 38, but that's maybe it. Afterwards, we see they have the biggest wall still at 35, but that's it on Coinbase. Deribit also limiting the way down at 37 too, but nothing up, just a little bit at 40,700. Ah, okay. Binance Spot limiting directly at 38.5 with 260 Bitcoin, but at the same time it looks like 40,000. So, and here, yeah, they're reinforced here. So 38, it's still possible. Um, we need to see Bitfinex. Wow. Okay. but that's not walls, not yet. We need to see they're spoofing here, as you can see, and pushing more with orders, flash orders. They, in my opinion, they use them for their algos, and I don't know actually what's happening here. That looks a little bit strange at the moment. However, also here limiting, not big, but FTX. Okay, FTX playing again the same game, limiting at 41. Mm, okay, yeah, interesting. They stopped here. They are maintaining here still, so we need to be very careful. 36. And at the same time here at 41 300. However, it's very usually they have a little bit of space between the walls and the price action. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we go up again to 39 400s, for example, and dump afterwards again. Hmm, I don't know. But that's very interesting why they have reinforced that wall and just stopped that wall here. Bitmax. 37 200, a little wall. Binance futures as usual. Ah, that wasn't before. Okay. 40,400. Interesting. That would match to the last top we had yesterday. Yeah, we had yesterday or today? No, I think that was yesterday, right? Here. So, but we have a lot of little walls there and here. So, and limiting at 38 as well. So it looks like it's our local bottom again. Look here, 2,400, 3,000 Bitcoin or something. We still have some space to 38 300 and that's it. And then up. So 40,350 could be a very solid price level. Bitfinex nothing and FTX spot also nothing. Well, then let us talk about the conclusion.